What guys back to brand new video. Today we are yes.
Oh my god, we did it!
I can't thank you enough! Oh my god! You can watch Frank's video. You can watch it for the rest of your life!
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, and we'll see you guys next time. Adios, amigos!
These are hosted in the cloud, in the IBM cloud, it's sent here.
Today, we're surviving 24 hours with real criminals. Ranging from pickpocketing all the way to Grand Theft Auto, these criminals are some of the smartest and most evil men in the entire world. And for the next 24 hours, they're going to be showing us and teaching us how they committed their crimes. And in order to survive the day, we have the police helping us out. So make sure you keep watching until the end. Starting with a magician who specializes in pickpocketing. And today, he's going to show us and teach us how to pickpocket strangers in plain sight. So you can steal someone's phone without them even noticing?
Yeah, that's what a pickpocket does. In fact, while we were talking and setting up the shot, I got yours.
No!
I think it's like a bathroom. What? We're swimming.
So, yeah, you can pseudo into root.
What's happening to my tablet? Just like that.
So, okay, so try it.
Not just gonna.
Yeah.
What
Space root, yeah.
that just always happened to me and watching videos. What did that say? Fortnite battle. Can't get over.
Today, I'm traveling to...
No, come up! And the moments are working too? Oh, come on! So have you seen a animal? I'm sure. Emotion fatigue. Emotional damage. What's that a nigga doing here? Steve Wire. If you break the unbreakable, you win $1,000. Take no fly.
Some of the creepiest places I found on Google Maps. Last time, we found an underwater airplane crash and so much more. But this time, we found even crazier places. So make sure...
I'm gonna cry.
So I'll switch soon into the SW.
I'm just over here.
Keep watching until the end because we risked our lives to film this video. This first Google Maps location is a sunken cruise ship in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Sunken?
Yeah, why?
I thought we were going on a cruise. That's bullshit. Alright, you know what? Let's just go.
And after a 3-hour boat ride around the Solomon Islands,
Yeah, listen, but you see,
with strict grammar and real life.
we finally found it. Oh wait, I see it. I see the tip of it.
Wait, what? Bro! Oh my god! It's sideways. We actually found it? We literally just saw this and just showed up here. That's insane.
Then after scouting out the entire ship, we found a ladder to the top.
Oh, perfect. We just have to climb the super sketchy ladder onto the super sketchy ship.
Right, you know what? Look the URL and the truck.
But I am going to.
You guys can board the ship first, and I'll come on a little later, okay?
Oh my god. Oh, we made it on! It's crazy up here.
And what's even crazier is that we're some of the first people to ever step foot on this abandoned cruise ship. So anything can happen.
Dom, we're gonna have to be very careful with where we step because we could fall through the boat at any moment. Bro, don't say that right now. You can see in the cracks of the boat. Look at how green it is.
So normally when we get this error, right? If you go back to the command website and you start,
I'm sorry. No shit.
right? So that's
Bob scraping, Bob scraping, Bob scraping. What's about those to this school?
let me see what percent of
I said those to this school.
correct.
I put 5 secret rooms in 1 color. Living bed. Twist and place. It makes sense. My commando door. It makes sense. And yes, I don't have a mission. And that's what you put it laughter. Back in everything. But I actually thought that I was going to laugh like all the time. Anyways, I'm good at Tell me, it just said make it this, make it this, make it that. And he animation is animation it's actually Java. He Java.
Whoa there, let's not be hasty. It's me, your conscience. This ain't safe. Sledding down the stairs in a cardboard box is a recipe for disaster. Hi, I'm Bryson, and like most of you, my essence currently resides in a corporeal form known as my body. What do you mean, most of us? Well, I didn't want to offend any ghouls, apparitions, or other ascended individuals who might be watching. The point is, I feel pain, and I can prove it. Ow. And if I've learned anything from my time here, it's that the internet was made for schadenfreude. What's schadenfreude? Well, it's kind of like... So, considering how many epic fail videos I've watched, I've decided to give back to the community by telling you all about my most painful experiences. Pay it forward, you know? Let's start with the ones that happened when I was young. There I was, sitting in the tub when I looked over and saw Dad's razor. I feel like maybe I should touch that, thought little me. And I went through the motions I had seen my dad do when he shaved his face. As you might suspect, small children and razor blades aren't a great mix. I cut myself up pretty badly and had to have a band-aid on my upper lip. It made it way harder to eat my tomato soup with fishy crackers, which was the real tragedy, let's be honest. Contrary to how I portray myself in my videos, I'm a very non-violent, go-with-the-flow kind of person, with one exception. Here it comes! But there was one other time when I wanted to solve my problems using a good old-fashioned knuckle sandwich. Brayden had been teasing me and pushing my buttons all day in classic Brayden fashion. I guess it was worse than the usual teasing because after a while, something in me snapped, and I decided the time for talk was over and that I would let my fist do the talking instead. I walked across the yard, fist clenched, ready to dole out some justice. My heart was pounding. It was time for Brayden to pay for his crimes. I guess God saw what I was about to do and said,
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
So, for the time being, Brayden was safe from me. But, as you'll see later, that wouldn't last forever. Speaking of brotherly shenanigans, jumping on the trampoline with my brothers was always really fun. We would play dead man, have water balloon fights, and do flips. And to make things extra thrilling, they could double bounce me way higher than I could jump if I was alone. But, of course, they decided to bounce me higher and higher.
Bounce him higher, together. 1, 2, 3.
And I learned my lesson and never got hurt on a trampoline again. I asked my friends to teach me how to do a backflip on their trampoline. It's kind of like a front flip, but the other way. Okay. Enough talk. I got this. Yahoo!
What is going on here?
I landed right on my head, and my friends legitimately thought I had died. Somehow I was fine, though, and that same day I was able to land a backflip. Little kids seem to be able to just walk away from what would have been a life-threatening injury for an adult. They're too wiggly and slippery for death to get a firm grasp on. If I landed on my head like that today, it would probably be like...
Multiple torn ligaments, severe nerve damage.
Now it's time for the worst pain I experienced as a child. We were at an indoor pool about to go home. Brayden opened the door and left the building, and I was right behind him. But I stopped to look back to ensure my parents were with us. And while I looked away, the door closed on my foot and ripped my big toenail completely off. Yeah! Imagine just trying to walk out a door like a normal person, and the door curses you with -10 foot armor for a year. That's right, it took a year to grow back. Now imagine trying to put socks on a toenail-less toe. Instead of having armor, it's just nerve endings and despair. It sucks. Long story short, I think this is why I'm an avid flip-flop man. Now we're moving on to my more recent painful experiences. I was walking Bo to a dog park near my house. We made it to the parking lot and got a running start to jump over the divider like we always do. But I guess I wasn't locked in because my foot caught the divider and I biffed it onto the asphalt. I got up and made sure no one saw me eat it, and then realized my knee was scuffed up and bleeding. But we were already right there. Bo wanted to play with the other dogs. I wasn't gonna go all the way home without letting him play, so I just stood there watching him play while actively bleeding.
Hey, are you okay? You're bleeding.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Please stop looking at me. Can we talk about how embarrassing it is to bleed? It's so dramatic. It didn't hurt that bad. Stop crying. I don't want these strangers to know that I bleed. Blood is the body showing weakness. Now everyone knows I'm an easy target. On that note, I didn't realize how much head wounds bleed. One time, I was picking something up in my parents' utility closet, and when I stood up, my head slammed into the fuse box door. The wound itself was tiny, but it bled so much. I think it's because a lot of people keep some important stuff in their heads, and they need blood for that. But for me, it's kind of just empty space, and this little guy. Seeing how small my brain is might explain this next story. I had recently bought some new jeans, and I was taking the stickers and tags off of them. I pulled the cardboard label thing off the belt line of the jeans and noticed that the white threads they used to hold the cardboard on were still on the pants. So I decided that I would cut them off using a butter knife. I have since learned a lasting lesson about why dull knives are actually more dangerous than sharp knives because they need more force to cut things, which means there's a greater chance of, well, that. But when I was choosing which knife to use, my brain said, big sharp knife, cut dangerous. Small dull knife, less cut dangerous. So I grabbed the butter knife and got it between the threads, but it wasn't cutting. So I applied more force, the thread snapped, I lost control of the knife, and sliced my index finger. It immediately started gushing blood. It was a deep cut. I wrapped it up with gauze and tape, and then, in the classic male fashion, I thought to myself, wow, that was a deep cut, and it hurts.
I'm gonna ignore it for some reason. Like a man.
And then I went about my day. Hours later, I visited Brody and Jen to play Mario Party, and they noticed the bandage on my finger. They made me unwrap the gauze to reveal that the cut was still oozing blood.
You should go to the hospital.
Nah.
We're taking you to the hospital.
The numbing shot hurt so bad because the doctor pinched my finger, opened up the wound, and stuck the needle right up in there. But then I couldn't feel a thing, and he stitched me up. And I've got a cool scar on my finger now. And just recently, Brody got a matching scar due to a pumpkin carving mishap. And that's not the only time my finger has been hurt. I was visiting a petting zoo with my sister's family, and they gave us each a cup of animal pellets. Some llamas saw that I had food, and they came up to the fence to ask for some. I saw some people pouring the food into their hands and letting the llamas eat right off their hands, but that seemed kind of nasty to me. So I decided to hold out the cup and let the llama eat from there. But the llama lunged and bit the cup and started tugging repeatedly to try and get me to let go of the cup. But I couldn't let go because he also had my finger in his bite. Dude, let go! I'm hungry! I can't! I eventually broke free from his grasp, but he successfully got all the food I had. Now I had no food to give to the capybaras, and he learned that he could just bite people to get what he wants. Maybe I should take notes. I went to the aviary to forget my woes, but in classic Bryson fashion, I was wearing flip-flops, and the birds thought my toes were food, and they all started biting my feet. I even had a scab on my foot, and they ripped it off. I thought I was supposed to feed the animals, not get fed on. Let's see how you like it. Now, I've told you about my young pain and my recent pain, but there's one more category I've yet to tell you about. A startling amount of my pain took place on our seemingly innocent summertime family lake trips.
This is the most funny
My earliest boating memory was at a big family reunion. Timid little Bryson was fine just sitting in the boat, but Dad encouraged me to try wakeboarding.
Come on, it's easy. You just hang on. It'll be fun.
Okay, Dad, I trust you, I thought ignorantly. He strapped me in and tossed me in the lake. Did it! I'm doing it! I'm doing it! Then the front edge of the board caught the water. In an instant, the insides of my sinuses and mouth became one with the lake. Not a great feeling. And that's the last time I ever wakeboarded. The risk that at any moment I could faceplant on the surface of the water at 20 miles per hour wasn't worth it to me. Next, I tried tubing, a much safer option. The concept of tubing is so hilarious to me. Whoever came up with this idea is an absolute mad lad. You tie a rope between the tube and a motorboat, hop on, and hang on for dear life. No red flags there. My mom, brothers, and I got on a big tube and were having the time of our lives. But then we saw a huge wave heading towards us. It launched us into the air, and the bottom of the tube caught the wind, and the tube started flying. My mom seriously did a cartwheel on the surface of the water. Needless to say, she has since lost her taste for tubing. I, however, was just getting started. Despite the pain of wiping out, the adrenaline of trying not to die while going over bumps and being whipped side to side was too intoxicating to ignore. And like a middle schooler after a bad breakup, I was ready to be hurt again. Me and my brothers were on the tube having the time of our lives when Mom turned a bit too sharply one way, then the other. The rope caught a bunch of slack and the tube slowed down. But the boat was still going, and I knew that the rope was about to gain tension and whiplash us. I sped ran the stages of grief in my mind and braced for the inevitable. The tube went from stationary to top speed in an instant. Our bodies couldn't keep up and it whipped out from under us. But that didn't stop me. After a long day of tubing, everyone was tired and wanted to go home. But I wasn't done riding that adrenaline high. Come on, let me go again. I just need one final hit and then I'll be satisfied. I just need a fix, bro. Please, come on, please. Since no one wanted to join me, Brody's then girlfriend, now wife, Jen, decided to throw me a bone and join me for one last ride.
Today has been so fun. I love getting to know you all better. I think I really like your brother.
Give it time. We hit a massive wave and got sent flying, and Jen accidentally pile drove the back of my head. As I crashed into the water, all I could think was, "Stay awake! Stay awake! Don't fall asleep in the water! You'll die!" Fortunately, I was okay and conscious, despite the pain.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
Are you okay? It feels like an ice pick is being shoved into the back of my head, and I probably have a concussion. Anyway, one more ride? Who's with me? Huh? After Jen assaulted me like that, I knew she would fit right in with the rest of my family. Plus, Brody watching his girlfriend land a critical hit on his annoying little brother probably helped seal the deal. Now, as we've established, Brayden is a mischievous lad who loves dunking on me. I think I just have a punchable face or something, because usually his crimes against me are unprovoked. He once offered to take me on a ride on a jet ski. How nice of him, I thought to myself ignorantly. He then turned as sharp as he could without warning and skipped my body across the water. And he brought that same energy to tubing with me. I would be sitting there minding my business and he would throw me off the tube. I kind of just resigned myself to it because Brayden was always stronger than me. But he kept tossing me in the water every boating trip, and that caused a spark to ignite inside my soul. The next boating trip we went on, me and Brayden got in a tube together.
Hey, sorry about always pushing you in the water. Let's call a truce.
Well, sure, I said. Then, as the tube whipped out to the side, I wedged my shoulders into the corner of the seat and pushed on him with my legs.
Wait, stop! I thought we had a truce!
The bill comes due.
This was the first time I had ever overpowered Brayden. It was intoxicating. I guess not skipping leg day paid off. There. Now we're even, I said as I helped him back into the boat.
Okay, I believe you.
Brayden thought to himself ignorantly. Later, me, Dad, and Brayden were on the tube, and I saw a big wave coming up. And a plan formed. I braced myself, and right as we hit the bump, in the moment where Dad and Brayden were weightless in the air, I kicked Dad into Brayden, sending them both into the water. Me and Brayden have since put the rivalry behind us and recently enjoyed a nice wake surfing trip without incident. See? It never ends! Don't worry though, I got him back. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this epic compilation of my worst pain ever. I sure didn't, but I've learned something about life in the process, and I've come to agree with this theory I heard on life. Hi, I'm Bryson, and I have a lot of siblings. Naturally, I've already made videos about them and slandered their names. Don't worry, Mom and Dad will get their chance on the slander spotlight soon. In the meantime, I decided to compile all my favorite stories about my siblings. Please enjoy the Sibling Saga. Hey, Brenner, if you jump off this cliff right now, I'll give you a penny. Oh. Hi, I'm Bryson, and a while ago I made a video about the times I almost died and the times I got hurt really bad. But that got me thinking about the other injuries in my family, and one sibling came to mind, one who had dodged the grasp of death more times than I can count, the sibling who had little to no regard for his own mortality and would regularly hurt himself, the wild child, if you will, the youngest brother, Brenner. This is gonna be a long video, because Brenner gets injured a lot. I don't want to cut out good stories or do a part 2, so let's just sit down, relax, grab some popcorn, and laugh at my brother's pain. Now, almost all of Brenner's injuries were self-inflicted. However, I think it's only right we start the video with Brenner's very first injury, the one he got from me. Brenner had recently been born, and my parents invited me into their room to say hi to my new baby brother. As I said hello to him, he reached out his hand and scratched my chest. Now, obviously, Brenner was just a baby. He had no control of his body and was just moving around. But my 4-year-old brain could not let this slide. How dare you? First, you come into my house, take my spot as the cute youngest child, and take all the attention from my parents? And now this? I offered you my hand in friendship, and you attacked me. You must pay recompense for your actions.
Hey, no, stop. Just calm down. Don't do it.
My parents tried to stop me, but it was too late. I reached out and scratched him back. He began to cry, and my parents put me in timeout. Little did Brenner know, his pain had just begun. Okay, in all seriousness, I felt really bad for what I did. Even now, I still regularly apologize to Brenner about it. But he can't even remember it, so he doesn't care. Brenner, my conscience has really been getting to me lately, and I'm so sorry about what I did.
Dude, that was 17 years ago. Can you just move on? I forgive you, okay?
Thank you. I love you, Brenner. I'm so glad I could get that off my chest. Remember in my pain video where my brother Brody slammed the door on my fingers? Yeah. Apparently that experience runs in the family. Brody walked through a door as a young Brenner was sticking his fingers in the hinges, and Brody slammed the door again. Brenner's fingers bent every which way.
If I had a nickel for every time I slammed a sibling's fingers in the door, I'd have 2 nickels. That isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Luckily, Brenner's fingers didn't break, and the doctors fixed him up. Feel better soon, buddy, and don't get into any more trouble.
I will make no such promises.
One time, me and Brenner were playing tag, and rather than be tagged by me, he jumped into a busy street and a car barely avoided him. I guess Brenner was more willing to die than lose at tag. Would you rather die a terrible death or...
Definitely death.
Wait, you didn't hear the other option?
Death.
I genuinely don't know why he is so accident prone, but this next story was no accident. You know how sometimes your mom has a really good friend, so she decides to make you hang out with her friend's children, but you don't like them? Yeah. When I was younger, my mom sent me and Brenner to play with the neighbor kids, Jake and Steven. The main reason I didn't like Jake was because he said, "Your sister is so hot." Brittany was 18. Jake and I were 8. Have you considered shutting up? Anyways, I spent the day tolerating Jake's shenanigans, but eventually I hid from him on the front porch and watched Brenner and Steven play in the front yard. "Come here, Brenner, I want to show you something." Brenner walked up to him, Steven grabbed his hand, reached into his pocket, and pulled out a pair of scissors and started cutting Brenner's fingers. "Stop!" I ran over to them to check on Brenner. His fingers were bleeding and he was crying. I slapped the scissors out of Steven's hand, grabbed him by the arm, and forced him inside to his mom. "Hey, Steven just cut Brenner's fingers with scissors." Oh, Steven. What? That's it? I was shocked. "Call my mom right now so she can pick us up. We're leaving." We left and Brenner's fingers healed just fine. But still, that reaction from the mom was not okay. Luckily, I never had to go to that family's house again. Reminds me of another time Brody was really young and another boy was punching him. My mom took the kid to his mom and told her that his son was hitting Brody, and all she did was say, "Soft hands, Hunter." I mean, come on, soft hands? How about punishing your kid for hitting a stranger?
You clearly don't know how to discipline children. Here, I'll show you how it's done.
A lot of Brenner's injuries were caused by him wanting to grow up fast and to keep up with his older brothers. For example,
My turn. Bryson doesn't need training wheels on his bike, so neither